And watching along with all of you.
The Rock, just Stayrook, match even, can take the lead with a strike in the 4th frame. Well, we've seen it 4 or 5 times a day. We graphically marked it. If you move outside the 8th board with a bowling ball, it's see you later. It's a little lubricious spot down the lane and just sails right by the head pin. For Jess, he has to get the ball to the 1-3 zone, drop the head pin into the 7. Remember when Ricky Ward had that, he just wrapped the head pin around the 7. If he makes the spare, it'll be all even through 4 frames.
Unlucky. It's more than a pain in the tooth, too.
Well, you're right, Chris. That was very unlucky. Excellent technique here. He drives that head pin. That's where you want it, over in the sideboard area. When it gets lodged in the channel, doesn't quite jump up. Gee. Right now, he's dug himself a little hole as our tournament leader is trailing by 12 against the man, Harry Sullins, who's trying to run the table today and win all 4 matches.
Beautiful comeback. Second strike for our tournament leader. Now Harry's up, and he opened with a strike, then a pair of spares, and now strike working as he shoots in the 5th frame. This is our championship match, Tums Classic title.
Harry disappointed with that. He really whips the extra speed on the ball as he tries to get that ball to set up. We said he's playing the oil line down the center, throws it a little harder, a little extra loft, and doesn't quite get the ball to set up. Leaves the 4-pin with a spare, will maintain his 12-pin lead through 5. Championship match. Chris, you were talking about Harry Sullins being a American Bowling Congress lane inspector, and what they do is they check the approaches, they check the levelness of the lane. The lane has to be within 40 thousandths of an inch level from gutter to gutter. Checks the pin spots, the kickbacks, the depth of the gutters, all those things he knows about. Right now, all he's worried about is throwing that bowling ball.
And his bowling center management degree from Vincennes University certainly helped him along the way.
Just Stayrook, who uses the tennis shoes, are not really allowed to be used in a bowling center. However, these are all cleaned off. They leave no residue. If a shoe leaves a residue, you cannot wear them. So he has some tennis shoes that he just uses on these synthetic lanes.
Turn.
Well, we've seen some extraordinary things happen. I got a good break similar to this last week, Chris, when the 6 jumped out and took out the 10. But look at this. I mean, that 7-pin is apparently standing. It tilts over. A pin catches it, the 3-pin from behind, and chops it out. And look at the reaction of Stayrook and then a very disappointed Harry Sullins. That actually affected Sullins. A wise Stayrook. The crowd reacts to the replay. Harry Sullins was really upset that Stayrook got that break. You cannot pay attention to your opponent. You are your own opponent in this sport.
Very deliberate
match here. The Rock can take the lead with a strike here in the 7th.
He walks that one out.
The reciprocity of sports. He gets one of the great breaks of all time in the 6th frame, gives it right back with a ripping 10 in the 7th. Spare here by just Stayrook. Harry Sullins would have a 3-pin lead.
encouraging the applause of the fans. But he's with it. He's checking that score sheet every opportunity. Knows exactly where he is. And he is against a tough professional.
This is a time for Harry Sullins to lean on it. He struggled on this lane. He can open up a 13-pin lead with a strike.
That's the kind of shot we'd expect from our executive producer, Jack O'Hara, who's visiting us today. Perfection.
Well, Jack has always been an admirer of the power ball, and Sullins did it just that way there in the 7th. Now, when you salt away a match, as an experienced player, to take titles, you have to hit your good lane. Harry has really spanked this left-hand lane, and with a strike here, he can open up a 23-pin lead over our tournament leader, Just Stayrook. Just Stayrook, 3 frames to try to wrap up the Tums title. He trails by 23. It's going to take some strikes to catch a red-hot Harry Sullins.
And for this man in particular, it means more than the 23,000. It's the title and an automatic invite to the General Tire Tournament of Champions. Harry's already in.
Unusual for Just Stayrook to miss that far on a 7-pin. And what happened, the ball went in the channel and then jumped in front of the 7. Even if he had hit the 7-pin, this would have not have counted. Watch this action here. See the ball just jumping out of the channel? Once a ball goes in the channel or off the back pin deck, as you see it disappears, it is out of play. Can never affect pin carry again. And right now, the Rock has dug himself a big hole. He must strike in the 9th and 10th frames to have any chance.
Lunch. Now here is Sullins, strike in the 6th, 7th, and 8th. Shooting in the 9th, Bo.
This is the biggest frame Harry Sullins has thrown in many a years. He's in the General Tire Tournament of Champions by virtue of his 4 national titles. But if he can strike here, he'll have a lock of 5th title.
Last win was 1991, or excuse me, in 1992 in Las Vegas.
Unusual set of circumstances. Just Stayrook gets a backdoor in the 6 frames to hang in the match, and Harry Sullins locks up the title with another backdoor, trip 3. He's got a victory lap right here.
All right, there is the Tums Classic winner for 1994, Harry Sullins of Ann Arbor and Detroit. We'll be back.